Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And wasn't it nice to see the sun today? And it made for a very dramatic shot looking down from our Badger Mountain Sky-Fi Tower camera. And it was just nice to see that sunshine, but a beautiful shot reflecting off the snow. And temperatures were pretty nice today too, and they'll stay pretty consistent as we make our way through the week. A little bit of fog in the morning tomorrow and then 37. Our best chance for rain in the entire forecast is Wednesday, 35 with rain likely, and then back into the mid and upper 30s Thursday, Friday, maybe a little bit more rain Saturday night, and then look at the end of the weekend on Sunday, sunny and mild with a high temperature of 40. And we will have your complete north central Washington weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. Both Winthrop and Twisp fire stations responded to a structure fire late last night. The Wenatchee City Council has approved a $6.5 million project that will reshape a major North Wenatchee Avenue intersection. And the city of Wenatchee took public comment on Thursday on another huge undertaking, the proposed Confluence Parkway project. But first, our top story tonight, a rock slide last night on Highway 97A cut off traffic south of Entiat for about an hour. The Washington State Patrol says the boulders tumbled down onto the roadway about 6:55 p.m. from the western slope just south of town. No one was injured in the slide. A detour remained available on Highway 2 and 97 through Orondo. Highway crews had the route cleared and reopened by 8 p.m. Both Winthrop and Twisp fire stations responded to a structure fire late last night. Firefighters responded to 913 Perry Avenue in Winthrop at 9:56 p.m. There, they discovered a fire within the wall and ceiling located above a propane fireplace. They were able to open the wall, extinguish the flames, and checked for fire extension. Firefighters completed the scene after midnight. The cause of the fire was not immediately known, but snow movement may have damaged the chimney of that house. The Wenatchee City Council has approved a $6.5 million project that will reshape a major North Wenatchee Avenue intersection. City engineers are calling the project Mega Kittrick because it combines several projects around McKittrick Street. Project engineer Jake Lewing told the council last week that construction is expected to begin this spring.
Mega Kittrick is a name that's been dubbed. It's a combination of three federally funded projects and some other locally funded improvements. So that's the McKittrick Signal, the pedestrian median improvements out on North Wenatchee Avenue, just directly north and south of McKittrick Street, and then the extension of McKittrick Street down towards BNSF to a new intersection with Columbia Street, which will be constructed by the project as well. Also included in the project is extending some high amperage power and fiber across North Wenatchee Avenue and down to that Columbia intersection to prepare for the McKittrick underpass to sort of serve the future needs in that area. And the Chelan County PUD, we have an ILA with them where they are cost sharing for that portion of the work. There are some other portions where just bringing service to those parcels along North Columbia and some water main work that is the city's responsibility.
The city of Wenatchee took public comment Thursday on another huge undertaking, the proposed Confluence Parkway project. An environmental assessment on the proposal is out and open for public comment through the 31st. Guests in the council chamber worried that a new North Wenatchee artery and second bridge across the Wenatchee River would disrupt the nearby Haran natural area, among other concerns.
Just because Haran is such a important public resource and it's already had pieces taken off of it for various other reasons, maintaining it as a public resource is part of the PUD's obligations under their license, and I don't see how this is necessarily consistent with that.
Despite proposed mitigation efforts, I believe that this project will forever impact the only place in town where community members can easily access solitude in nature. This project will significantly impact wildlife.
I'm here just to put in a plug for the Wenatchee people than Piscosa people. This is it's a very important site to us in that it was a huge traditional gathering area and village site. So anything that you do, keep us apprised on the situation, draw us into it, ask for our input on it. And basically that's all I got to say.
When we come back, a bill from 8th District Representative Kim Schreier to help forest agencies keep more money for wildfire remediation has now become law. About 464 acres on the Methow Wildlife area will be thinned this year after the State Fish and Wildlife Commissioners approved the plan. And the winners of the Uplift Awards were announced Saturday at the Martin Luther King Jr. Multicultural Fest. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Welcome back. In another news, a bill from 8th District Representative Kim Schreier to help forest agencies keep more money for wildfire remediation has now become law. The National Forest Restoration and Remediation Act won President Joe Biden's signature on Wednesday. That's more than a year after it first passed the House. The new law allows the U.S. Forest Service to hold on to millions of dollars in interest from settlement funds, which previously the agency had to surrender. The money collected will be set aside to fund the restoration of public lands damaged by wildfire. About 464 acres on the Methow Wildlife area will be thinned this year after the State Fish and Wildlife Commissioners approved the plan. The removals will largely take place in the Golden Doe Natural Area near Carlton. State officials say they'll remove about 2.5 million board feet in the project and expect to break even on their expenses through sales of that timber. The thinning is designed to improve habitat for species, including mule deer, as well as reducing wildfire risks. The Methow Wildlife Area covers about 34,500 acres in all. Well, the winners of the Uplift Awards were announced Saturday at the Martin Luther King Jr. Multicultural Festival. This year, 3 uplifts were awarded to community members for their work in social justice. This year's winners include Our Valley, Our Future Coordinator Steve Maher, Parque Padrinos President Ivan Lopez Ramirez, and Wenatchee Pride. Wenatchee Pride President Lincoln Neer and Board Treasurer Catherine Hauser were separately nominated, but the Wenatchee Pride organization was recognized as a whole. The awards ceremony took place at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. There was a total of 9 nominees. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Join NCWLIFE Channel for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Royalty Selection Pageant presented by Cashmere Valley Bank on Saturday, February 11th. The countdown to coronation at 6 and the pageant at 7 o'clock. Coverage is brought to you by Coldwell Banker Cascade, Confluence Health, Harvest Valley Pest Control, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on the NCWLIFE channel.
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hello, television family. Grab your cup of coffee each weekday morning and join me. I'm Dan Kuntz, the host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's everything you need to start your day. We're live and we're local at 7 a.m. every weekday on the NCWLIFE channel.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society has a new director. James Pumphrey has been on the job for about a month at the Animal Shelter and Welfare Agency. In tonight's feature story, Pumphrey told NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz his two dogs are still adjusting to the move from his former home in Las Vegas, but he doesn't regret signing up when the Humane Society sought out new leadership.
It really was a wonderful process. We have a really committed board that created a national search for an executive director, and I just so happened to be also looking for an opportunity to take the plunge and join a Humane Society that had these programs that Wenatchee Valley Humane Society has. You know, I started actually walking dogs as a volunteer in high school and went to school for social work, and a light just kind of clicked on that I was doing social work. I was doing that work, helping pets and people stay together and thrive together. You know, throughout my career, I've been really focused on shelter operations, humane investigation, behavior, and bringing all that together of how do we help people and create a real humane society, and that's what we're here for. It's our programs, it's our behavior program, it's our foster program, it's our humane investigators who really look to enforce cruelty and neglect laws. It is our low-cost veterinary clinic. It is those robust services that provide a safety net to pets and people in our community. The community has changed over the pandemic, and coming out of the pandemic, the economics have changed. So we are always looking at how do our programs serve our community better, serve pets and people better. So we're looking for 2023 to really kind of build on our success and build on our growth and provide more resources to people. You know, our pet food pantry ran out of food last time that we were giving out food to our community, and that has not happened before. So we recognize that our community really is feeling the crunch. I'm lucky to have joined an organization with those robust programs. So looking at how we can enhance those and grow those programs, from our behavior program to our foster program, how do we keep pets out of the shelter and really reserve the shelter for emergency housing? How do we keep pets and people together? That's really going to be our focus for 2023. We're lucky, I think, in the Valley to have a community really committed to animals, to donate. You know, it is those individual donors that we really rely on to keep our doors open, to be able to grow our programs, to be able to provide more resources to those pets and people that we want to keep together.
Time to take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great weekend, and I'll tell you what, folks, I took a trip to Idaho over the weekend, and as soon as you get past Moses Lake or at Moses Lake, there's no snow. All the way to Post Falls, Idaho, just bare ground. Most of that snow here in Wenatchee and up north into Winthrop, Twisp, and the Omak areas. But we've still got plenty of the white stuff as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from a Wenatchee Heights cross camera. And boy, nice to see the return of blue sky. We haven't seen that in a while, and that allowed our temperatures to get fairly nice today. 38 our afternoon high temperature today. 33 is where we should be this time of year. Our record high was set back in 1994 at 55 degrees. We started the day at 30. Our normal low is 24 this time of year, and our record low temperature 6 degrees back in 1997. With that rainfall over the weekend, we are now at 1.36 inches since January 1st, and that's great shape already this month. Sunrise 7:43, and the sun will set, or did set, I should say, at 4:39. Taking a look at your Tuesday temperatures, we're going to stay okay as far as temperatures on Tuesday. Upper 30s, 38, Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy, and then 37 all the way up through Wenatchee, Entiat, and into Omak, and just a little bit cooler then in our upper elevations tomorrow. Leavenworth at 36, and Lake Wenatchee, you will see a high tomorrow of 32. Tonight we can expect some patchy fog to develop. We've been seeing that trend over the past few days. Partly cloudy skies then mixed in there with low temperatures tonight in the upper 20s. For Tuesday, we could really see some fog in the morning. Keep that in mind as you make that morning commute, and then partly cloudy by afternoon. As we just talked about, highs generally in the upper 30s for us. And then for Wednesday, there's a big area of low pressure out in the Pacific, and that flow is going to bring clouds our way. And yeah, rain and snow likely for us on Wednesday. We'll see high temperatures just a touch cooler, somewhere in the mid-30s. And then for Thursday, after we see some morning fog, our friend returns, and that's high pressure bringing a big ridge up and over the Pacific Northwest. We're going to see highs on Thursday, warming back up into the upper 30s. Going to stay pretty stable for Friday as we end our work week as well. Partly cloudy and fair. We will see highs again consistently into the upper 30s, and then things change just a little bit on Saturday. We do have an area of low pressure, and this little trough right here, that will bring a pretty good flow of moisture our way. This is the afternoon hours, so we do expect some rain mixed with snow, and that will last into our evening hours as well. High temperatures to kick off our weekend into the upper 30s, and then once again, high pressure builds that ridge back up and over the Pacific Northwest, and that's going to make for a beautiful end to our weekend on Sunday. Hardly a cloud in the sky, and we will see high temperatures in the Wenatchee area right about that 40-degree mark. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast, and it's brought to you by Apple Valley Honda. Tonight, our overnight lows will drop down to around 28 degrees. A little bit of fog in the morning, partly cloudy, and 37 for your Tuesday, and then rain and snow likely throughout the day on Wednesday, 35 the high. Pretty nice then for Thursday and Friday, mid to upper 30s with partly cloudy skies, mostly cloudy with evening rain showers on Saturday, and then by Sunday, just downright beautiful weather. We will see sunny skies and mild temperatures with highs at the end of our forecast right around 40 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
NCWLIFE Channel is your home for local sports with the Wenatchee Panthers and East Mont Wildcats right here. Coverage brought to you by Abby's Pizza, Biosports Physical Therapy, Clean Connection, Coldwell Banker Cascade, Confluence Health, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Together for You. Follow all the action right here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE Channel.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE Channel.
And a happy Monday to you. 5 teams had their NFL seasons come to an end over the weekend, including the Seahawks. Despite a spirited first half that found Seattle leading 17-16 heading into the locker room, San Francisco outscored the Hawks 25-6 in the second half to win it 41-23. Coach Pete Carroll lamented about how and what could have been in Seattle's first playoff game in 2 seasons.
They did some really good stuff. They got good players, a good team and all that, and give them all the credit. And I thought Cal did a fantastic job. But we had our shot. And so the suddenness of this finish is this what's so striking right now, you know, that we all of a sudden you're done. We weren't thinking that way. I mean, we were thinking something was good was going to happen, and we were going to knock these guys off, and we were going to keep going. So, I know the suddenness for the young guys who haven't been, that of all of the stuff that has to do with playoffs, this is the biggest obvious factor that's different and unique, that you plan for something, all the hype, everything building and going crazy, and all of a sudden you got to go home. And what has happened during the course of the season has been a tremendous amount of progress that we've made. We've had so much growth and so much yet to occur here in the next, you know, the next turnaround as we get to come back for this next season. All of these young guys are going to see the world totally differently than they see it right now. They're going to be amazed how much they didn't know in their first season of playing NFL football. And so we you know, I'm not dwelling on the negative part. I'm going to what's coming, and that's how we talked in the locker room. That there's future and there's all kinds of promise and there's all kinds of cool things that are going to occur here as we bounce back around and get back on track for another season.
Quarterback Geno Smith completed 25 of 35 passes for 253 yards, couple of touchdowns, also intercepted and fumbled. The 10-year veteran hits free agency now that the season's over and says he wants to stay in Seattle.
You know, I want to finish my career in Seattle. I want to be here. The town, the city, the team, Coach Carroll, the organization, they all embraced me. You know, I was a guy who probably could have been out of the league. They embraced me, and I want to repay them for that.
DK Metcalf was the workhorse offensively, collecting 10 passes for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. Niners were just too much for Seattle's defense, assembling 505 yards while converting one explosive play after another. Well, the rest of the Super Wildcard weekend was much closer as Jacksonville edged the Chargers Saturday night in a last-second 36-yard field goal to complete the largest comeback in playoff history, 31-30 the final. Josh Allen threw 3 touchdown passes to go with 2 interceptions. Buffalo held on to beat Miami 34-31. Daniel Jones threw 2 touchdown passes while Saquon Barkley rushed for a couple of others as the Giants went into Minnesota and beat the Vikings 31-24. Sam Hubbard's NFL postseason record 98-yard fumble recovery touchdown proved to be the game winner for Cincinnati as the Bengals beat Baltimore 24-17. Lone game remaining from the Super Wildcard weekend is tonight. Tampa Bay is the location. Buccaneers hosting the Cowboys. That is on right now on ESPN and ABC. Well, the Seattle Kraken return home after breaking an NHL record over the weekend. Seattle raced out to a 6-1 lead over Chicago, beat the Blackhawks 8-5 Saturday to complete a 7-game sweep in their road trip. It's the first time in NHL history a team has completed a road trip sweep of at least 7 games.
And here's Morgan Geekie with the flip to Daniel Sprong. Sprong comes in and scores. Daniel Sprong with his 14th goal of the season in Seattle strikes first. The goaltender for Seattle, who's on a 6+ period shutout streak. It's Taylor Radich blocked by Ryan Donato. Jonathan Taves in front. Seth Jones scores! And Everly's got it now. Done again. Through traffic, and Beniers scores! Kane tipped, and it's through Isaac Phillips. And here's Jared McCann, who's got a big-time shot, and he scores. A 7-game win streak. Here's Beniers for Burakovsky, and Burakovsky scores. And the first line breaks through for Seattle, and they are scoring goals rapid fire now, 4-1. Yanni Gord tries to lead Tolvanen, and Tolvanen scores.
Games in hand. Tie LA for second place. If things go well for
McCann scores.
Wow.
Mason Dickinson wheels it in. Dickinson for Phillips, backhand shot, score! 15 seconds on the power play. Domi wrists one and scores! That's a bummer for Philip Kurashev. He broke his stick right as he was handling the puck. Here comes Seattle. Jared McCann, and he rattles one in. A Scud missile from Jared McCann, and he has a hat trick.
There were more goals, but Seattle won it. It's their 8th straight victory, making the Kraken's record perfect so far in 2023. Now, Coach Dave Haxtell was more interested in collecting 2 more points to move Seattle within 2 points of division-leading Vegas.
The 2 points is what matters. It's a great accomplishment for the players to be able to do that. It shows the consistency and the work that they've put in from the start of this road trip. So for me, it's more about the players and accomplishing consistency of play together as they move through the entire road trip.
Seattle returns home today. In fact, they were hosting Tampa Bay earlier. We'll have the highlights tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Wenatchee Wild had a tough weekend going 0-2 against Cranbrook and Prince George. Weekend began with Wenatchee being shut out by the Bucks on Friday on the road 2-0. Andy Vlaha tried as he might, stopping 32 of 33 shots on goal, but it was not enough. Seattle, or make that Wenatchee, Saturday, a little closer, but they fell at home to Prince George 4-1. Alexios Georgakakis, I got that name wrong, but you see it there, so you can figure out how to pronounce it yourself. Wild's lone goal in front of the largest crowd for a Wenatchee game since 2010. Wenatchee's off this weekend. Will return to the Town Toyota Center next Friday, Saturday, January 26th and 27th versus the Vernon Vipers. Well, it was a good weekend for Northwest College basketball teams. Taking a look at the Les Schwab men's college basketball scoreboard. Eastern Washington topped Idaho Saturday 95-74. Keon Brooks had 26 points. Noah Williams 22. Washington over Cal 81-78. Andrew Yakubowski scored 17 points. DJ Robin added 15. Washington State topped Stanford 60-59. And 8th-ranked Gonzaga no trouble dispatching Portland in the kennel Saturday 115-75. Turning to the women's weekend at college basketball, 21st-ranked Oregon beat Washington Friday 65-58. Washington State down Oregon State 63-56. Saturday, Eastern Washington took care of Idaho 74-59. 20th-rated Gonzaga beat Portland on the road 73-66. Washington State pulled off the upset Sunday by downing Oregon in overtime 85-84. Washington topped Oregon State 79-67. The rest of our high school sports, you're going to see that and highlights and everything else on our website at ncwlife.com. That's a look at sports news. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Tomorrow is Tuesday. It's back to work for a lot of folks, and we'll have a 4-star show for you tomorrow. Normally, I don't promise 4-star shows on Tuesday. Hell, on Tuesdays, I'd be happy if I show up at all. But I'll put together a good show for you. We'll have your latest news, your latest sports. Looks like a fairly sunny forecast as well, so get your Tuesday going live and local. It's everything you need to start your day right here in North Central Washington with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll see you tomorrow morning live and local at 7 a.m. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that'll do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.
The NCW Life channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCW Life